This is me Rachit and welcome to yet another video. Today I want to talk about the best competitive programming setup that you can have on VS Code or any IDE that you prefer. First I would like to talk about what are the things that you should look for a good competitive programming setup, or what are the things which make a programming setup really cool in terms of competitive programming. So the first thing is it should be a great IDE. It should have a great set of autocomplete features, and it should also be able to parse contests. You should also be parsing the input output files. The program should be doing this for you. Like, you should just tell what is the contest that you are giving, and it should parse the input output files. It should run your code, and it should run your code against multiple input files and check whether your solution is passing the sample test cases or not. If you are not passing the sample test cases, it should flag that and show you the difference about that. And also, the most important thing is you should have a very well written coding library. For this, you will have two choices. You can use the source code provided on GitHub. Like, I have my coding library on GitHub of other people. So you can use the coding library of other people, or you can build one of your own in your own time. So if you want to reinvent the wheel, or if you want to write things in your way, feel free to do that. Otherwise, if you want to write the source code, if you want to utilize the source code written by others, basically go and clone some others GitHub repo. Now, what essentially happens is that um, if I talk about Vim, I take this to even more steps. Like, for example, if I go to Vim and let me clear this whole file. So what I do generally in Vim is something very cool. I don't care where I am, in which file I'm writing. I have written my own competitive programming plugin which allows me to do crazy stuff like this. So if I'm writing a code in CPP or C++, you know that it's very long, int main, hash include, all those things take a lot of time, and everyone in competitive programming uses their own template. For example, no one writes, I mean, most of you won't write complete for loops like this, right? You won't do something like this. Instead, you are writing something like for in or something like fin. So everyone is defining their own shortcuts which they are leveraging. So in this case, everyone is having a template, and for me, if you talk about me, I use this template. It has a lot of stuff, and I think I can make a different video about why I use this. It has a lot of shortcuts. It allows me to write code really faster. When you're talking about competitive programming, time is really important. So I have a lot of things over here in my template.cpp, which means that I start from this as a basic file and I start writing on it. So this is the main, and over here I start doing the inputs, and if I have to read array, I do something like this. So really quick, if I have to input a graph, something like IP graph. And the good thing is this VS Code is giving me so many autocomplete features. Like, for example, it is showing me that there are two functions which are available if you use IP graph, and it's saying that one is taking one input and the other one is taking two inputs. So I'm planning to use this one, which takes, there are n nodes and there are m edges, and I do that, and again if I click on it, it takes me to the implementation of that. Use these cool IDE features that you have. Don't just use something like I don't know, um, dev C++, something like that, which is really old school now. Or I have seen a lot of competitive programmers which are even red competitive programmers, red rating. They are also using IDs which are not that cool. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about. And if you even see this for, if you I just hover about it, it's showing me in a card that for is nothing but hash defined for and for loop is there, and it's beautifully color coded. I'm using the Solarized theme, so I will show that as well. Color theme. So I'm using the Solarized dark color theme. I love that a lot. If you open Visual Studio, otherwise you will have a lot of different colors, and I really like this one, which is the Solarized dark. Okay, so yeah, that's that. And talking about Vim, Now, for example, if you're writing some other file, what you need to do is go to template.cpp. And the good thing is in VS Code, you have fuzzy searching. Like if I'm on this file and I can simply press template.cpp and it's showing me that. I go here, I copy it, I go back by command minus and I paste it. So it's really easy to navigate between multiple files in VS Code, and in Vim it's even more easier. But what I want to say is that don't go in that zone where you are opening a file explorer, simply searching for your file, then opening it, copying it, then coming back to your file where you are writing the solution and pasting it. It's too much of work. What I do instead is command P, search for whatever file I want to go to. I'm just showing a random file like package.json, or let me open my coding library. So this is my coding library. Over here you can see it has a lot of implementations, but what I can do is something like, let's say I want to go to sec trees. So I do only sec tree, and it's showing me all the implementations that I have for segment trees. You can see segment tree on map, persistent segment tree point update, and I have points in rectangle KD tree. So it's doing a fuzzy search, and let's say I'm interested in the persistent one. I simply click it, copy, go to my file where I'm working and paste it where I want to, and I start working from there. So it really saves you time in that sense, and I don't have to reinvent the wheel. A lot of beginners, what they do is, if they had implemented persistent segment trees in some code chef problem, what they will do is Google the code chef contest in which they solved a problem based on this concept. Then they will go to their submission list, open the solution, copy from there, navigate to their VS Code or whatever editor they're using, paste it over there, and then move on. This takes a lot of time, and don't do that. Don't make that mistake. If you want my coding library, it's there on GitHub. I will put the link in video description. Simply clone this and do even start it if you want notifications. The other thing is, I have also built a Codeforces contest bot, which I extensively use. And what it does is that, let's say I'm giving this Codeforces contest, it has H problems. What it will do is it will create these many directories for me in my computer, and then for every directory it will also download their test cases. So in this case, if you will see, problem B has 3 test cases, and what my bot will do is basically do exactly that, and I can show you that as well. So if you will check, I have exactly H directories over here, and if you are thinking that I have created that, it's not the case. Actually, you can see that there is you can again check how my Codeforces bot works. You can use any bot that you want to, but my point is use something. So I have a environment variable CF contest, which points to the current Codeforces contest that I'm giving. And once I have that, I will first delete these files that you are seeing, ABCDs, just to basically create them again. So from A to H, let's delete that. And yeah, this was a shortcut. If you don't know to delete multiple directories from A to H, you can do something like cat or not cat echo. So yeah, that's what I did. I deleted multiple directories. So yeah, as you can see, there is nothing in my directory right now, and I have my CF contest variable, which is initialized to the correct URL. And to parse the test cases, I simply run my script, which is node script.js, and it will do the magic for you. Download all the test cases, create all the directories, and there you go. So if you will see over here, it has created those directories over here. As you can see, in problem A, it also creates a solution.cpp file, and for B, you can see there are input output input output input output, because there were three sample test cases. It has 3 files, and then a solution.cpp where you can write the code. All right, I'm just making the font bigger so that the mobile users can also see this, but yeah, I hope this is much clearer now. So yeah, as you can see over here, if it's possible, I am in B sol.cpp. So it's very easy for me to just focus on writing code and not focus on the other redundant stuff, I would say. So coming back to the list, that's what I do. I have a very well written coding library which I use. I also use a bot which does this for me. Of course, it does only for Codeforces right now, but if you are using for CodeChef, again, I think that a simple Google search will let you know what are the bots available in the market. Again, VS Code is a great IDE, and that's what I use with Solarized theme. And if you talk about extensions, I have a C++ extension enabled by Microsoft. It has a lot of users. I think it has 10 million installs, so you can simply use this, and that's it, guys. It's damn easy. But if you talk about Vim, damn, it takes to the next step, and I will show you now. So you can see that, or let me show you one last thing. So again, if I want, let's say, I want to go to the source code of a Fenwick tree or BIT as like Fenwick tree or BIT. Again, I go to my coding library and simply, do a simple search like, BIT, and it takes me to the code of BIT, and I can simply copy paste this. So this is how I tend to do competitive programming contests, which save me a lot of time, and that's I would recommend you. Now, if you like this video, damn cool, but this is something which will blow your mind. So a lot of you might not be Vim users, but Vim really makes me more faster if you talk about competitive programming. What I can do is I save almost every time. I'm simply writing code, I'm not doing anything. So I can be in any file, I don't care, because in VS Code you need a proper structure opened over here on the right sidebar. You need to be in correct workspace to use these cool features of fuzzy searching, right? But in Vim I can be in any file and I can do something like this. So let's say I'm writing fresh C++ code for some Codeforces problem. So I am in insert mode first of all, and then I can bring in my template first because I don't want to do a lot of writing and I don't want to open folders and copy paste. So what I do, damn, I press my plugin commands and it brings me, and I have written this for me. It's completely customized on my own needs. I have not open sourced it yet. I am still working on it. And if you want me to give a demo about this in detail, let me know in comments, but I'm just giving you a brief overview of how this works. So this is how my complete template of line 77 lines just came into my screen just by writing my own command, right? So this is my plugin that I really use a lot. It really helps me to save a lot of time, and I can simply go to the main and start writing my code from here. All right. Again, I will delete everything. Let me do that. Another great thing is sometimes I can do something like let's say for in, and it writes a for loop for me. Okay. Sometimes let's say I'm here and I want to use segment trees, or let's say Fenwick tree. So again I can do something like Fenwick tree, and again, damn, here is my source code for Fenwick trees, and I can simply now start using it in my int main. Okay. So this is why I really love Vim. It's saving me a lot of time, and I have completely customized my Vim like VS Code. Like for example, if I press Ctrl B, damn, I have this uh, like explorer kind of thing, file explorer or navigator that you have in VS Code. And again, I have fuzzy searching in Vim. Like for example, if I want to go to the solution CPP file of problem E, so this one, okay, and I want to open this one, so I can press Ctrl P, esol.cpp, and it matches that and brings me it basically is damn easy for me to do anything from Vim now. I can open, let's say, the input test cases. I can see that B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all these problems are having the first input test case. I can see what is it, and it's 2. So yeah, I can do all that kind of crazy stuff. It's damn faster than VS Code, but again, Vim really takes a lot of time. So that's why I didn't want to make a first video on Vim, but rather than I wanted to make a video for competitive programming setup for VS Code. And I hope you will download VS Code after this. And if you want me to continue a series on Vim and how I use this, let me know in comments, because I'm not sure how many people would love that. But again, I hope that this is a great setup that I have shared with you, and it's super fun. I really like to save time and make it more optimizable. If you have any more ideas, let me know in comments, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Don't remember, all the GitHub repo links are in the video description, so you can see that. And again, for my Codeforces contest bot, I have already made a detailed video as well explaining how it was built and how it's basically used. So yeah, guys, that's all I had, and I'll see you in the next one.